In this exercise, we're going to practice using paste options and also linking data. So the first thing I'd like you to do is go on to the fruit sales data worksheet and select the data in the table. I'd then like you to copy that data and paste it into the empty table so that the original column widths are preserved. I'd then like you to copy the data again and paste the values only into the empty table. And finally, I'd like you to copy the data one final time and paste it so it runs horizontally across the page with the headings in column A. In the next part of the exercise, I'd like you to practice linking data. So I'd like you to add subtotals to the client list revenue versus profit data on the linking data worksheet. So we're talking about this data just here. Once you've added subtotals, I'd then like you to link to those subtotals on the summary worksheet. So what we're aiming for here is to have the total profit for each of the companies linked through from this worksheet. And then finally, I'd like you to practice 3D referencing. So I'd like you to use 3D referencing to complete the summary table on the total sales worksheet. So if we scroll across to the end, here is the total sales worksheet. And basically, I want to find out the totals for all of these regions for these months across each of these different companies. So we need to use 3D referencing to get those totals into the table. So quite a few things to practice there. And if you'd like to see my answer, then please keep watching. So the first thing I asked you to do was to practice using paste options by copying the data in the fruit sales data table and pasting it in 3 different ways. So let's select our little table, Control C to copy, and then we want to paste it over here, but we want to paste it with the column widths preserved. So we're going to jump up to the home ribbon, click the lower half of the paste button, and then we need to select our correct paste option. So this one here is the one that you want, keep source column widths, and click to select. Let's do this again. We're going to select the table. This time I'm going to do Control A, Control C to copy, and this time we want to paste the values only. So let's click the lower half of the paste button, and this is the one that we want. So this option removes all of the formatting. And then finally, I asked you to paste this data so that it runs horizontally across the worksheet instead of vertically. So let's select Control A, Control C to copy, and this time we're going to go up to paste, into paste special, and we want to select the transpose option, which is going to flip that data around. The next part of the exercise was related to linking data. So the first thing I asked you to do here was to create subtotals. And the aim is that we are going to link to the total profit for each of the clients on the summary page. So when we're thinking about doing our subtotals, basically how I want this to display is that at each change in client, I want it to use the sum function to add the profit together. So all I need to do is click on OK. And now I have those subtotals for each of the companies. So now I can link these subtotals through on my summary worksheet. So let's click on equals, linking data, select the first one, company A, and hit enter. And we're just going to go through and do this for all of these different companies. Now the final part of this exercise, I wanted you to complete the total sales table on the final worksheet. And what we want to do here is we basically want to aggregate all of the totals for each of these different companies. So what we're going to do here is a little bit of 3D referencing. So in this first one, we're going to type in equals sum, open bracket. We're going to go to the first worksheet, which is Tech World Sales, and select this cell just here. And what we can then do to make this easier is hold down Shift and select all of the worksheets and hit enter. And that's going to give us our total. Now I can very simply copy this down and copy this across to complete that table.